Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman studio. Today we've got Jose in the chair. How you doing, man?
Good.
You good?
Good to see you.
You too, man, you too. So, what's the plan? What are we doing?
So I've been growing my hair out for about 3 years now.
Wow, okay.
I only got one minor cut.
Okay.
And I guess I'm kind of done with the long hair.
So what are you thinking then? Where are you looking to go with it?
I'm a bit torn, right? I'm not fully sure, so I wanted a little bit of your advice.
Okay.
I was kind of envisioning some sort of mullet.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, not a crazy one where I keep the length, some sort of short mullet.
Okay.
I have an undercut.
Okay.
And I would like to have this faded.
Okay.
Some sort of like Hector Bellerin style. I have some images if you want.
Yeah, if you don't mind, let's have a little look. Thing is with the mullet, right? You said not a crazy mullet.
Right.
Mullets are crazy.
Yeah.
You got to remember that. They are not an average hairstyle. Right? They're not a style that you'd get. You wouldn't get a mullet to like match a face shape, for example. Right. You know what I mean? They are quite what you class as a sort of out there creative kind of haircut. Right. In terms of like something that you would class to, to try and match up to somebody, for example. So let's have a little look what your thoughts are. Oh, I've done a few. Okay, yeah.
Something like this.
That is a pretty crazy mullet, man. That is definitely quite a lot of length in there.
And then the other thing that I've seen that it's some sort of mix between a mullet and a mohawk, but with the fade is something like this.
Oh, okay.
I don't like it as demarcated as it is right there.
Okay.
But maybe something like that where I still retain some of the length up top, just a little bit, but then have the fades on the side.
Right, okay. The thing is with that last fade, right, you're never going to get the same sharpness as that fade because of how dark his hair is.
Right.
He's got such a white scalp.
Gotcha. And
very dark hair that's what shows that off. So I don't know whether you get the same effect. You can get the same style.
Right.
But I don't know that the effect would be as harsh. But if you don't want that harsh of a fade, the problem is that it's not going to look like the style.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Okay. A lot. So that's the thing. Sometimes what I need to try and explain to people is that when you bring in an image of a haircut, if you don't get that exact image, it's not going to look like you think it will.
Yeah. True.
Because you're seeing everything that you're seeing in that picture that you like.
Right.
Will not look the same if you don't have that fade. Stuff like that. You can never guarantee it's going to look good.
Yeah.
You just have to be that kind of guy who's quite relaxed.
Gotcha.
Give him a blast, see what happens.
And
then, you know what I mean? Just see if it works. Yeah. The other guy though, the footballer.
Yeah.
Because the problem is, you wanted a mullet. You shaved the back of the hair.
Right.
You shaved here.
Right.
A mullet is the neckline.
True. I didn't think about that because I got the whole thing. Okay,
so it's a hard one. You could still do it and grow it out, but I don't know how great it would look.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I don't want to do that.
Because then you'd have a fade here, and then you'd have here. I mean, you could make it. We could disguise it massively, right? We could massively disguise it. Yeah. I just don't know how short I'd be. You know what I mean? Because when you're missing anything of the haircut, it changes how it sits and how it grows, right? Yeah. So when you're missing quite a large chunk of the neck, you're missing about 1 inch of the neck, right, through the bottom here. That these bits are the things that, like, when you start taking length off above it, that's what creates the mullet effect.
Right.
So if I left this here, I've got a feeling that if we were to taper it through the sides, for example, I don't know how we'd end up with you'd look like you had a mullet, but you'd still see that.
It might look weird.
You probably would have been better growing out the undercut for maybe a couple of months, maybe 3 months, and then we could have done, because you'd have had a bit more here.
You're right.
That we could have like intertwined into the back. The burst fade, I think, is also out the window.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. We could probably leave that length there and do that. But then I don't know.
Why don't we, because it was a crazy idea. It was also some sort of like bet that I had with myself that if I reached the milestone, I would get a mullet. But it's not necessary. So
we could do it. It just won't be a true mullet.
Yeah, no, and it's not. I reckon it's not going to look great. Thinking about that back part, which I hadn't thought about. I don't want the long hair, so let's get rid of it.
Okay.
If you wanna work your scissors up, like some sort of length like you have, I wouldn't want it way shorter. You can.
I've got the back and side shaved. Honestly, right? I need you. If you hold this for me, sir. Have you got a hair tie or anything like that? Have you got it at home? Oh, okay, no worries. I don't have one either. Doesn't matter. Do you know what? Wait, I'll spin you around. I just want you to see something, okay? So, the back and sides of your hair is that.
Yeah.
Right, and I just want to kind of tie it up so you can kind of see it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Let me just tie it up. So that is the back and sides of your hair.
Right.
So if we take any length off the back and sides, you are going to expose the undercut at that length, which is probably about a number 7 or a number 6 in length.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
That's what you're going to expose. we've had a lot of guys come in like this. We've got a few videos already on the channel.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you've got 2 haircuts. If I was to hold your hair away and do this, I took a photo of you and I said, what haircut do you think Jose's got? They go, has he got like a short back and sides?
Yeah.
Because you've got the short back and sides.
Right.
Then I go like this, and I go, what hair do you think Jose's got? Oh, he's got long hair. You've got 2 haircuts, right? The only thing is, the minute you want to go shorter, you're going to expose all of this.
Right.
So you're going to have to try and get rid of the undercut, which you would have to go this short on the back and sides.
Yeah.
You'd have to start at this length and blend it up.
Right.
Again, I hate to be this guy, right? I feel like I'm such a negative person when I do this, because I'm just trying to let you understand the issues that I face and you face, right? Is when you do an undercut on hair like this, when you're going to take your hair short and you're going to change your hair, and anyone is watching, don't get an undercut too close to your change. Now, when you have an undercut done in this haircut, we all do this. We all take it up here and drop it down because it works. It just doesn't work for a new change because of where the height is up there. It's your hairline is here, the shaved bit is there.
Right.
So that's what you've got to work with. That little gap here, which is about a finger width, is all you've got to blend in at that height. And then I would have to also take it high around at the back because I couldn't do a drop down because it wouldn't look right.
It wouldn't look good.
It would just, because it would just drop all the way down. It wouldn't look right. So that's the problem, is when we go to take it shorter, we're going to expose it. Yeah. So we need to think of a cut that is going to work in a transformation. And I'll be honest, I don't know. We will have to start at the drawing board to figure out what you want. My honest opinion, right, and this goes against all of my wanting to cut your hair, but I feel like if you left your hair for 3 months, it would be more beneficial than you getting cut today. Right. I know that sounds awful because you're here, but the beauty of this is I don't know who's coming in.
Yeah.
The only thing is, whatever we do today to change it, we have to go that short.
Right. What if we keep the undercut, so we do it, and then the length that I have, bring it, so it's still a transformation. I'm still getting rid of a big chunk of it. Okay. And keep it
So what look? What style? What would you like? What sort of finish would you like?
I have a picture of myself when I was growing it out. So
did you have the undercut in it though? If you came into me today and you weren't looking for a transformation, I would say to you, take the ends off, get it cut a bit shorter, and grow it out. Yeah. And I know, like we've done it on. We've had one guy in on the channel we've done it on before, and I do sit there thinking, oh, maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that. But then I know, truthfully, it's not worth doing because you are now. If we were to transform your hair today, and as you can see, we can do anything. Like you're a blank canvas. Yeah. You're a blank canvas. You're about 70% blank canvas. Yeah. There's just 30% of your head that's been taken short, right? That's the problem. It's the 30% that we need because the 30% dictates the look that we're going to go for. That's the pain of it all right now. Is that why when you get undercuts that come in so grown out so quickly, it's hard because I know it's annoying for you. I know you want a transformation, but it's also you are going to be sacrificing your look that you would like to achieve fully for the point of 3 years of growth. What's the point if you're not going to try something with it? You know what I mean? Right. And I don't mean keep it long. I mean a mullet or something like that. You know, there's things you could do that would make it work. I just don't know whether because it is so short, it would sacrifice everything else that would go in with it. The hardest bit is the back's not too much of an issue if you're going to go for that picture of the base fade, right? But you'd have to probably get the fade in there, which you didn't say you liked, just because of how short everyone else is. Then I could connect it in. The only problem I've got though, it's this height, the temple. It's just because it's so limiting me to cut into the top. I don't know. Whatever you do to that bit there would hang over. And when you've got straight hair shows off every problem. Every mistake, straight hair shows off. And I think it would look like a mistake. Okay. And I don't want it to look like a mistake unless you were going for a very short textured haircut on top. If you're doing that, I could blend it off into the fringe. It wouldn't matter. That's why I'm not trying to be pedantic or awkward. I know sometimes people can sometimes think I'm trying to work away from doing something, but I'm really not. I'm just trying to give you every worst case scenario that it might not look right, and we'll end up taking it 3 years worth of hair off for absolutely no reason other than the fact that we're trying to work with what we've already got. Yeah, no, I
appreciate the honest feedback. And you're right. I just it's a crossroads, right? Because when I wait for this to grow out, it just looks awful, right? And I can't put it up because if I put it up, then this shows up, which I hate.
Yeah.
So it only really looks good when it's actually faded or short.
Exactly.
So like waiting for it to grow is such a pain.
I know it is. But again, anything we do would involve taking the back and side shows.
Right.
If you don't like them, as they are now.
Right.
So it's a tough one. It is a tough one.
Yeah, I'm pretty torn.
I know.
I also I've been thinking about this for a while, and now it's like, it's.
And I'm the bearer of bad news who hits you with reality. Yeah. Unfortunately, mate. Yeah. So the decision is in your hands, my friend. I can guide you, but I can't make it. So what is the solution?
Right.
What would be in an ideal world, knowing all that we've spoken about? What do you want to do? I mean, look, if you still want to go for it, I'll still do it. Yeah. But what would you like to do?
It might not look great.
It might just not look like what you expect.
Yeah.
That's anything.
My question to you is, do you reckon with the current situation and the problem that we have, do you reckon you can do something that ends up looking good?
Always.
Yeah.
But it just depends on what you're willing to lose lengthwise. Because the reality is, the undercut's going to look like an undercut no matter what we do. Yeah. Unless we take the undercut out.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So you like I said before, you're 70% blank canvas.
Yeah.
It's just the 30% that I need. And because believe it or not, when you are going for transformation, right, you need every part of the hair to be able to create things. Because there's bits that I might want to leave in the perimeter to create a shape that I don't have.
And you might not be able to.
And I might not be able to. So the thing is, we could do a lot of looks. It's just, I don't know if we'd ever get away from the undercut. I think it would always just look like an undercut.
Yeah.
And then obviously, how short do we take the rest of it then for it to not look like an undercut? Do you know what I mean? Like you could do a really cool 90s kind of vibe hairstyle, but the problem with that is you're taking the back off. You've just put yourself back about 6 months. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the mullet was just some sort of like, as I said, bet to myself, because I know it's a crazy haircut. I've never had anything like that. And I was like, now that I have a blank canvas, I can do something like that, which I don't know when next I'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I know.
I know that also, like, obviously, you know, it's the channel and everything. So if you don't think that you'll feel comfortable with the result, then
this is important for people, because even though like the end result might not be what you wanted, I'll always make sure I try and do a good job. I'm not someone who'll just go ahead and hack away. I'll always try and technically make sure everything works, right? Okay. Regardless of the end result, people have seen how we've got there.
Yeah.
So I don't really care about that, if I'm honest. Of course. This is a real life scenario. This is staged.
And that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
That's why it needs to stay in. Do you know what I mean? Because people, I'm sure there's hundreds and hundreds of people going through this exact problem right now and not knowing what to do. Yeah. So if they see someone who might give them an idea, so be it. You know what I mean? Right. Look wise is, that's the start. How would you feel about coming back on the 23rd, persevering for 2 more weeks?
Yeah.
In that 2 weeks, me and you can set up a Pinterest and we can look at styles that's going to work.
Sounds good.
Because if we do it now, we're on the spot.
Yeah. We're rushing it. It's not ideal.
Yeah. I think you'd be better coming back. Yeah. Only a couple of weeks where we've actually spent 2 weeks, or it's going to take a few hours really, mate, if I'm honest. Do you know what I mean? But it's going to take some time that we can go like, okay, so I've got these ideas, because I'll be able to like genuinely think of styles that I could make work. Yeah. Whereas now, if we're sitting through Pinterest, we're making a decision on the spot that you might not want to do. Yeah. And I just know how hard it is to grow your hair. Right. I don't want to waste it. Yeah. I don't want to just do it for the sake of doing it because you're in the chair. I would rather us literally share some email convo on Pinterest of ideas, or even through Instagram, whatever. Just send me some ideas. Yeah. I'll get some ideas. I'll make a board. You make a board. Let's see where we meet, and then we've got a style there.
That sounds great, actually. I think that's the best option.
I think that's the best option as well. Honestly, for me, I really appreciate you listening to what I've said, because I'm not in no way, shape or form wanting to not cut your hair today. It's not about that at all. I just know that we could do something different, better, if we could actually do a bit more research, because it's hard to change around straight away. But at least if we have a few ideas that we can sit down and go, what do you think of this?
We can figure out a best approach. And I really, I've said it before, you know, I really appreciate the conversation. I think it's important that you communicate and that people are able to reflect on what you're saying. The expertise you hear.
Well, I didn't want to just do something that might not work. Yeah. Because it might not. And the last thing I want to do is give you a bad experience and make you feel like you've wasted 3 years ago in your hair. I'll give you my email address. Okay. Go download Pinterest. Right. Make a board to save whatever haircut you love. Okay. And I mean, be as outrageous as you want to be. Yeah. make 100 pictures if you want, right? Just save them to a board of, put 23rd of June. So then that way you've got your date, so your judgment day, right?
Yeah.
And then what we do is you share it to me on email. I've got Pinterest. I'll be able to view the board.
Okay.
And I can star the bits that I like, so you can see me starring it.
Right.
And I can also share my board with you based on what you've sent me. And then that way we might find 3 haircuts that we like, that we could try and make a hybrid haircut.
Okay.
That could just be the Jose. And it's known just as the Jose. You could be that. This could be anyone who gets an undercut and wants a new haircut. It could just be known as the Jose from now on. So you might end up, might not be well known for this, mate.
We'll see.
Okay. But yeah, if you're happy with that, I'm more than happy with that,
and
then we'll go from there.
That's perfectly fine.
All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate your understanding, mate.
Of course, yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Because I know it's the best idea.
Let's do that then.
Definitely. I asked Jose to go away and do me a Pinterest board, to which you did, and I'm really pleased you did. Now, you sent me it over on Instagram, and I've got it up here. Now, so, there's 4 haircuts that you like the look of. So I think that has actually worked. I think the 2 weeks has given us a chance. Let's take this hair off. Just